Baba Ramdev's Patanjali Foundation was recently in the news
when they announced that they had found the cure for COVID-19. On 23rd June, Baba Ramdev announced the medicine named Coronil, which he claimed to cure coronavirus disease with 100% efficiency. However, yesterday on 30th June, Patanjali Foundation took a U-turn by saying that they had never said that the drug can cure or control coronavirus. This whole incident has brought Ayurveda back into the headlines.
The central government's push towards Ayurveda began long before the coronavirus pandemic. In fact, the Ministry of Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy or Ayush was established in 2014. Ayurveda still commands a significant amount of respect both at home and abroad. However, its effectiveness is under scrutiny owing to the doubtful legitimacy of its clinical trials and as a result, its data and conclusions. Does Ayurveda have the potential to treat COVID-19 and similar viruses? This is yet to be determined. However, if it is to achieve this goal, what is the correct way to go about things to make it more reliable? What healthcare standards should be practiced? Let's try and find out. With India's rich history recording the use of natural ingredients as medicinal components, the Government of India has called for a greater focus on Ayurveda. The Ministry of Ayush is a governmental venture towards resurrecting ancient medicinal philosophies. Ayush aims to restructure healthcare in India on a pluralistic basis by amalgamating Ayurveda and homeopathy with allopathy. The ministry has also articulated guidelines on conducting clinical trials, which form the framework of testing of ingredients on diseases such as diabetes, malaria, and recently COVID-19. Ayurveda has flourished under the masses too. There are an estimate of 4.5 lakh registered practitioners in India. Further, a report drafted by the Confederation of Indian Industry and PricewaterhouseCoopers suggested that the use of Ayurvedic ingredients is prevalent in 77% of household products. The ministry was in the news recently for approving clinical trials of 4 Ayurvedic components as treatments for COVID-19. Ashwagandha, Yashtimadu, Guduchi, Pipli and Ayush 64 are the contenders. The trials began on May 7th, courtesy of a joint initiative taken by the Health Ministry, Ayush Ministry, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research and the Indian Council of Medical Research. An Ayush Sanjeevani app has also been launched to record the effects of the trials on around 50 lakh candidates. Ashwagandha has taken the lead as it is believed to be the most promising component. Dye Lab at IIT Delhi, a joint biomedical research laboratory between India and Japan, has been testing ashwagandha for the past few years. The international laboratory has been exploring the effect of natural compounds on severe acute respiratory syndrome, better known as SARS. The same lab has reported that ashwagandha is also capable of treating cancer in one of its studies. Now one might think, if such institutes are backing these claims and enjoys the support of the government, what is holding Ayurveda back? The problem lies in the nature of the trials and the lack of attention being given to the other aspects of healthcare in India. The trials conducted so far have been single-armed, with no comparative studies and low participation rates. A gold standard, on the other hand, is a double-blinded randomized clinical trial. A double-blind trial is a trial where neither the researchers nor the patients know what they are getting. The computer gives each patient a code number and the code numbers are then allocated to treatment groups. Your treatment arrives with your code number on it. Neither you nor your doctor knows whether it is the new treatment or not. Ayush has also conducted trials and has haphazardly reached conclusions based on a lack of damning evidence, as seen in the false claims that have plagued their journals. In testing a drug for malaria, Ayush 64, the trials were found to have been irresponsibly conducted. As mentioned above, the trials were not comparative and the duration was limited to only 9 days. A second study of the same drug concluded with a less than 50% efficacy rate when conducted over a time span of 28 days. In the past, Ayush has been criticized for erroneous claims published in their journals. In August 2017, a journal article suggested that pregnant women should give up meat and should instill spiritual and pure thoughts. The unscientific advice was not well received by the public. In the same year, Ayush released a health advisory that encouraged the use of alternate medicine for the treatment of dengue and chikungunya. Doctors were quick to point out that there was no scientific evidence for the claim. Further, the treatment approved for diabetes has proven to produce major side effects, such as elevation of patients' blood glucose to dangerously high levels. The propagation of homeopathy by the government in the light of a deadly virus has also received criticism owing to the philosophy of homeopathy itself. Internationally, there has been less than substantial evidence for supporting the success of homeopathy's medicinal properties. While Ayush can promote its use, it should uphold the responsibility of transparency and subsequently issue health advisories for the same. With the spread of false or inconclusive information floating around, the use of Gomutra has raised questions of legitimacy and safety. In March, a group of Hindu Mahasabha members hosted a Gomutra party, followed by another held by a BJP member, in an attempt to prevent COVID-19. It resulted in the illness of one participant. Ayush does in fact have papers on the use of cow urine as a medical product. The number of false claims linked to Ayurveda and the Ayush Ministry poses concerns for the future of clinical trials in India. While the Ayush Ministry has already issued guidelines on the regulation of clinical trials in India, there needs to be a better and more accountable system in place. Clinical trials must meet the standards of successful ethical trials and follow an internationally regulated framework. In lieu of unsuccessful evidence in using Ayurveda as an effective treatment, the ministry can alternatively concentrate on advocating its use alongside allopathy. Ayurveda has been recognized as a facilitator of immunomodulation and could improve the efficiency of allopathy. To combat false claims, the ministry in April instructed drug companies to take action against those guilty under the Disaster Management Act 2005. It is also the ministry's responsibility to oversee the publishing of journal articles that do not meet the guidelines for evidences and conclusions. Ayurveda has been acknowledged to be an affordable, more natural form of medicine. However, its potency for heavy metal poisoning has not been addressed adequately. The implementation of safety standards must be stricter to avoid toxicity cases. It would be remiss to ignore the potential effectiveness of Ayurveda, but in the current situation, it is equally irresponsible to conduct inconclusive trials and publish erroneous information. The use of Ayurveda is popular in India, and thus the ministry must take up the duty of safely and effectively promoting its practice, without neglecting other fields of medicine which have consistently shown proven sustainable results by passing stringent and robust testing practices. What do you think about Ayurveda as a medicinal practice and how effective it is in treating various diseases? Do you have any experience? Let us know in the comment box down below. You can follow us for more such stories on our social media handles and our website. The links are in the description. Stay safe. See you next time.